Good morning, myself Dhruv Jha. Today our topic is New Empire. After the fall of the Kushanas in the north and the Satavahanas in the Deccan, there was no great political power for a long time. On the ruins of the Kushana Empire, a new empire called the Gupta Empire emerged, which established its eminence in both Kushana and Satvahana regions. Hence, from 4th century CE to 7th century CE, India saw the emergence of some great empires. Now we are talking about the Gupta Empire. The Guptas were probably a family of the wealthy landowners who gradually gained political control in eastern Uttar Pradesh. These people enjoyed the following advantage, which probably led to their rise to power. This center of operation was in the fertile lands of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. They could exploit the iron deposits in central India and South Bihar. Their proximity to the areas on the Silk Route, in course of time, the Gupta Empire developed into one of the largest empires in India. Now, we are talking about the Chandragupta one. During the Kushanas period, Magad lost his prominence, but it regained its importance during the reign of Chandragupta I. So, Patliputra was his capital. Through favorable marriage alliance and conquests, he expanded his territory. He married Kumar Devi, a Lichvi princess, which enhanced his political prestige. So Chandragupta extended his empire over Prayag and Saket in Uttar Pradesh. Now we are talking about Samudragupta. Chandragupta I was succeeded by his son Samudragupta, who is considered the greatest ruler of the Gupta dynasty. He was a great warrior, scholar, musician, poet, and a great administrator. He was a Hindu but was tolerant towards Buddhism and Jainism too. So Samudragupta adopted an aggressive policy of conquests that led to the expansion of the Gupta Empire. He conquered 4 northern kings and 12 kings of the south. He took over 9 kings of the Ganga Yamuna Doab region. He wisely decided not to annex the territories that would be difficult to rule directly from Magad, so he established indirect control over these territories and drew tributaries from them. It has been described in Prayag Prasasti by Harisena. Now we are talking about Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Chandragupta II was the successor of Samudragupta. He took the title of Vikramaditya. He extended the limits of his empire by marriage alliances and conquests. He defeated the Sakas of Gujarat, Surashtra and Malwa and annexed their territories. In this way, he won control over the busy trading ports of Brock and Combe. So he maintained friendly relations with the Deccan kings of Vaktakas, so who had succeeded the Satavahanas. So he married his daughter in their family. Chandragupta was also known for promoting learning and art. He patronized 9 renowned scholar, poet, and artists who were known as Navratnas. The famous Sanskrit poet Kalidas was one among them. Now we are talking about administration. The Gupta kings were great administrators. They had an elaborate administrative system which was prevalent in the areas directly controlled by them. So, however, they did not interfere in the administration of those regions where the kings had accepted their rule. So, in their administration, the king was the central figure with high sounding titles like Chakravarti, Parameswar, etc. So he was assisted by a council of ministers. He issued written instructions to officials on all important matters. Mahananda Nayaka was the Chief Justice who assisted him in all judicial matters. So the empire was divided into provinces called Bhuktis, and the provinces were further divided into districts called Visyas, and the smallest unit was the village. So in the provinces, Upadikas, and in districts, the Visyapatis were interested with this work. So in village, however, the village headman or the village elders decided the petty cases. So the administration was decentralized and the official had autonomy in various matters. So the law was divided into civil and criminal, and the punishments were mild. So capital punishment was not given at all. Land revenue was the main source of income for the state. So the Guptas had a big organized army consisting of elephants, cavalry, infantry, and chariots. So a minister called Sandhi Vigrahika was responsible for maintaining peace. He was assisted by a group of high officials. In times of wars, the king led his army. The Samants or feudatories of the king were the smaller military leaders who provided troops to the king when required. So in return, they were given grant of land from which they could collect revenue and maintain their armies. So decline of the Gupta Empire. Chandragupta II was succeeded by Kumargupta, who could not contribute significantly to the empire. So he was succeeded by Askandagupta. Askandagupta was successful in controlling the attacks of the Hunas, but he could not expand his empire any further. So the later Gupta rulers were weak and the provinces under the Guptas became independent. Soon the Gupta Empire disintegrated and India broke up into a large number of small kingdoms. Now we are talking about India after the Guptas. Almost 100 years after the decline of the Gupta Empire, in the small town of Thanesar, a king called Harshvardhan brought all the small states together and set up a new kingdom. So now we are talking about Rajavardhan and became the ruler of Thanesar in modern Haryana. Rajavardhan was killed when he went to take revenge from Sasank, so the king of Gauda, for killing his sister's husband, the ruler of Kannauj. Harsha united the kingdoms of Thanesar and Kannauj and made Kannauj his capital. Harshvardhana entered into an alliance with Bhaskar Varman, so the king of Pragijyotisha Asan, as both had a common enemy in the Gauda king. So subsequently he fought the rulers of Vallabhi and Gaudiyaraj in the west, so Chalukyas in the Deccan and Magad and Gauda in the east. He attempted to cross the Narmada river but was defeated by the great Chalukya king Pulkesin II. So during Harsha's reign, learning and education not prominence. Nalanda University, which had more than 10,000 students, got a special grant for Harsh. He also donated 100 villages to the university. Now we are talking about the Deccan rulers. While Harsh ruled in North India, the Pallavas and Chalukyas emerged as powerful dynasties in South India. The Pallavas were powerful between 330 and 550 CE. Kanchipuram was their capital. After Samudragupta defeated the Pallav king Vishnugupta, the Pallavas became weaker. At this time, the Cholas and the Kalbhras repeatedly attacked the Pallav kingdom in 575 CE. Simhavishnu re-established his kingdom. Mahendravarman and Narendravarman and Narasimhavarman were the two great Pallav rulers. Mahabalipuram and Kaveri Pattinam were their important ports town. Now we are talking about Chalukyas. The Chalukyas set up their kingdom in the area around Raichur between Krishna and Tungabhadra rivers. So Vatapi and Badami was their capital. So Pulkesin first was the first independent ruler of Badami. So Kirtrivarman first succeeded him to the throne, who was later succeeded by Pulkesin II. So Pulkesin II is the most renowned Chalukya ruler. He was a contemporary of Harshvardhana. He increased the kingdom by annexing the entire Andhra region. So he defeated Harshvardhan on the banks of river Narmada. He was killed by Pallav ruler Narsimhavarman. Now we are talking about his administration. So as in North India, the rulers in South India needed money for maintaining the army and other activities. So the administration was divided into three parts: central administration, provincial administration, and local administration. Some rulers of the Deccan adopted titles like Dharma Maharaj to show their supremacy. Kings often had prasastis inscribed on monuments, pillars, and rocks. So the king was assisted by a council of ministers. Initially, they were paid salaries, but in later period, they were granted land instead of cash salaries. Some ministers who got a lot of land became powerful and independent during the rule of weak kings. So agriculture was the main source of state revenue. Most rulers provided irrigation facilities to the farmers to increase crop productions. So some rulers took steps to promote trade. So